everyone, welcome to Pearl's Kitchen. If you like my video, give it a thumbs up, press the red button to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you'll be notified for my upcoming video. It's all free. Thank you. Christ is the good physician. There's no disease he cannot heal. Amen. Today I'm going to show you how I make my bread and butter pudding, and here are the ingredients. Okay, I'm making two separate dishes of bread and butter pudding because I always make for a friend of mine. So you can halve the ingredients if you're just making one. So I've greased two oven-proof dishes, and then in here in the saucepan I've got 300 ml of full cream milk. And to it I've added 300 ml of double cream. If you don't want to use the cream, you just use 600 grams of full cream milk. And here I've got 10 slices of white bread that I've cut the crust off, and another 10 slices of bread. And I'm going to butter it with this, and there's 100 grams of butter in there. I've got 5 eggs that we'll need. We need 1 cup of brown sugar. We'll need 150 grams of sultanas. So I've got mixed light golden sultanas and the dark one. I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg powder. We'll need a teaspoon of vanilla essence, 3 tablespoons of honey, and I've got a zest of half an orange in there, and in here I've got 2 tablespoons of desiccated coconut, and I've got 3 tablespoons of orange marmalade. The very first thing we need to do is butter all these slices. So make sure your butter is room temperature or soft, and then I'm going to butter all these slices and keep. After you've finished buttering all the slices of bread, I'm going to take the marmalade, and I'm only going to put marmalade on 5 slices on this tray, and I'm going to put marmalade on 5 slices of the other tray, because we don't want marmalade on all the 20 slices, only on the 10 slices. So let's take some marmalade. Use a spoon if you want, and put some marmalade on there. After putting the marmalade in half the slices, you just take a knife and cut each slice into half, and then keep them as all aside. Okay, now that all our bread slices are cut in half, I'm going to now very slightly warm up the milk. You make sure the milk is not hot, just warm. So I'm going to just warm this up for maybe a couple of minutes or 3 minutes. Okay, it's had 2 to 3 minutes. You can see it's nice and warm now. Enough to put my finger in because it's not burning my finger. I'm going to turn the gas off now. And now we're going to beat up the 5 eggs. So I've broken the eggs in here, and take a whisker and mix the eggs. Okay, once the eggs whisked, I'm going to add the orange rind in there, and I'm going to add the nutmeg but not the cinnamon, and I'm going to add around a teaspoon of vanilla essence, nice heaped teaspoon, and then around 3 tablespoons of the honey. This is such a delicious bread and butter pudding. When you try it, you can write on your comments that, wow, this was delicious. Okay, so once you've put the honey in there, you start whisking it again and mix all the honey in there. Okay, after the honey is mixed in the eggs, now you can start pouring the lukewarm milk while you're still mixing it. And mix it all, and now keep this aside. But before you keep this aside, I'm going to strain it off so all the froth stays in this bowl. So after giving it a good mix, just put it through the sieve or any sort of strainer. Okay, so the flavor of the rind's gone in there, but we've got the rind in the sieve. So okay, now keep that aside. Okay, once the egg custard is made and kept aside, now we're going to start layering the bread. So I'm going to do one tray to show you. Just take half the slices of bread. You can lay it in any fashion. So what I'm going to do is putting one slice just with butter and then one with marmalade, and then again with butter. Make it nice and packed, and then butter here, then marmalade here, and carry on doing it in this way. Once you've done the first layer with the bread and butter and half of the marmalade, try and put, even if you have to cut little pieces, try and fill all the corners, and then just put some raisins, the dark ones and the light ones. I'm just making one tray first, and then sprinkle some cinnamon, and then the brown sugar. I mean, you can, if you don't want it too sweet, you can lessen the sugar. And then this is the bit I like, the coconut. That's why this is my way of making the bread pudding. I love the coconut flavor in it. So once you've done that, okay, now for the second layer, I'm going to take one slice with the marmalade and one just with the butter. And I'm just going to lay it on top like this. And then again, a marmalade. So I'm going to put the marmalade the opposite side and the butter this side. Carry on doing it this way. Okay, once you've laid all the slices of bread on the top, then again, the same thing. Just going to put dark raisins and light raisins. And then again, some cinnamon. And then the sugar. And I've got a sweet tooth, so I always seem to put a little bit extra. And then some coconut. And press that all in. After you've put the second layer of sugar and the raisins and all, I've halved the custard mixture because the other half is going into the second tray. So, but if you're going to just make one, now you make sure you put it in a jug so it's easier to pour this custard over the bread. And now gently try and put it over the bread first, so it all starts sinking into the bread and soaking into the bread, because that's what we want. Make sure it goes all around the bread. And then we're going to keep this aside for 20 or 25 minutes. That's so that all this custard mixture is soaked into the bread nicely. Just take a spoon and just gently press it in. And now give it time to let all the custard soak into the bread. You can see I've done both the trays now, and now this has been resting for 25 minutes. You can see it's all the liquids soaked up into the bread. So that's how it should look. And now is the time for you to put the oven on. You need to preheat the oven on 180 degrees. So I've already got my oven on. So now just before you put it in the oven, you just take the rest of the brown sugar and put some brown sugar on the top, so it gives it a nice golden crust. And now this needs to go into the oven. Now, depending on your oven temperature, between 35 to 40 minutes, and you'll know when it's done because it'll be nice and golden on the top. So I'll go for 35 minutes and then I'll check. Okay, my bread and butter pudding is out of the oven. It really looks delicious and smells delicious, and this took exactly 35 minutes in the oven. And now we're going to just serve it. So just take a knife and just cut a square out. Okay, just take a spoon, a flat spoon, still warm, and now just put it on the plate. And that's your lovely bread and butter pudding ready to be served. So I like it with cream, so you just pour some cream around it and it's ready to eat. You can have this with cream like I'm going to, or you can serve it with ice cream or custard. It can be eaten hot or cold, and you saw how easy and simple this was to make. So try it. When you've made it, write on your comments what you think about it, and please share my link with your family and friends and ask them to subscribe to my channel. And I shall see you next time with some more delicious cooking. But until then, may God go with you and give you his peace.